Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I am going to do a slideshow here so that we've got it. So, thank you guys for joining me today. This is really intended to kind of be a no fluff, or as we said in our marketing stuff here, no tricks, just treats. This is really about Black Friday and offers that are going to convert. And so, what I really wanted to do with this webinar, with this conversation, is to really give you some tangible things that you can do specifically for Black Friday that are going to really help you with your offers. And if you were in attendance of the last webinar that we did, or you've heard me speak on other topics before, I have a real passion for Shopify specifically, and that's the tool that I love to work in. But these would be applicable, these tips and tricks are going to be applicable across any platform. So if you don't use Shopify, but you use WordPress, or you've got a Show It, or you've got a Squarespace, or you've got something like that, the principles of this apply. I'm just going to speak specifically to some tools and things that are specific to Shopify. Okay. But before we get into all of that, let me kind of share what I want to do here with the agenda. Okay, so first, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk a little bit about how and why getting in front of the Black Friday crowd is so important. So it's not just about trying to show up during Black Friday and thinking that you're going to actually make a dent or noise in this sort of loud space, really getting ready for your customers ahead of time. We're going to talk about reward loyalty, making your customers actually feel special. How do you make this whole thing called Black Friday, or any of the offers that you're going to make, how do you actually do it in a way that is automated and not something that you're sitting behind a computer having to type it out as it's happening, or you have to be at your computer on Black Friday going, oh my gosh, how do I make this work, or what's happening? How do you boost your AOV, which is your average order value, with some upsells and cross sells? How to leverage the power of buy now, pay later. That is a really key thing this year in particular. Highlighting free shipping and post purchasing. We're going to talk a little bit about customer service, some data-driven decisions, and UGC, which is user-generated content. Okay, so lots of stuff to cover. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. We will get to them. We've got time to make sure that we go over questions that you've got. Okay, so who am I? First and foremost, why should you listen to me about any of this? Well, my name is Dawn Sinkula. I'm the CEO of Digital Dawn. We are an e-commerce marketing agency, and we've been in business for 10 years. I have partnered with countless entrepreneurs over the course of my career. Prior to working and owning my own agency, I worked for Target Corporation as a senior executive for them. I moved up to Minneapolis, where the headquarters is here, worked for them for 17 years, and have all sorts of experience in the retail, e-commerce space. This is when I was starting to add it up, I don't want to date myself too much, but this is my 28th Black Friday in some sort of retail, e-commerce, marketing sort of space. So I have been doing this for a really, really long time. And I can tell you, I know what works, what doesn't work, and how to make this happen, right? So that's why we're doing this today and having this conversation. But I do always like to start with some statistics, because my left brain always wants to kind of share all of the statistical things that are going off. But this year in particular, and from last year, we know that Black Friday and this specific season is going to be massive for online sales. So 61 million consumers purchased in independent direct-to-consumer brands through Shopify alone. Okay, so that's not even if you're on WordPress, if you're on Squarespace, if you're on WooCommerce, BigCommerce. Only Shopify statistics alone, 61 million consumers purchased from some sort of independent and direct-to-consumer brand. That's massive in 2023. They're expecting that to go up this year alone by about 25%. The peak sales of 4.2 million per minute on Shopify. Now, imagine that, $4.2 million happening per minute at 12:01 Eastern Time last year on November 24th. So that is Black Friday morning at, when you go stand in line at Target or you go stand in line at Walmart and they open the doors and you go running in for your free, Black Friday or your discounted TV or whatever it is. That's the same thing that's happening on Shopify at 12:01, right? People are just, floodgates are opening. So the top selling countries, obviously, were in the United States, UK, Australia, Canada, and Germany. All right. So I think that's important just as you think about it's not just the US that you are selling to during that time. It can be across the world. And that's really the power of the online sales, right? Is that you don't have to stand in line at a Target store in the freezing cold and wait for the doors to open up. You can do that here in your online space, in your online store at any point and sell to anybody across the world. And the average cart price was $108.12. Okay. So I think that this is important information to know as you position yourself for your Black Friday offers. And when I talk about Black Friday, obviously we're talking about the weekend specifically after Thanksgiving. Okay. In the United States. So the United States Thanksgiving, which this year is later than it normally is. It's a week later than normal. So what that means is that there's an extra shopping week during this holiday season that there isn't typically before for Black Friday, right? So Black Friday sales are starting later. And so shopping will happen even longer and people will have a tendency to wait for Black Friday to shop. But here's the thing. When you are a small business owner, it is very hard to get ahead of some of the big retailers and to fight the noise in the online space during that weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday being Cyber Monday, it's very hard to break through the noise. We've all been in our emails, right? Even already, I'm seeing Black Friday sales come in. I'm seeing early bird sales come in. So during those 4 days of Black Friday, it is going to be very loud, very noisy, very crowded. So my recommendation, and what I have been telling even my team with some Black Friday offers that we're going to have, is let's get ready early. Let's create awareness ahead of time. And let's encourage our audience that we currently have now to start purchasing Black Friday sort of offers before Black Friday even happens, because they're more attentive now. They're listening to you now. They will hear and open your emails more now than they will during that weekend. So encourage your people to start with early marketing, right? So send out your emails this week, send out your emails next week and say, hey, I'm going to be offering a promotion, a pre-Black Friday, a pre-Cyber Monday, something along those lines. You can still use the language Black Friday. You can still use the language sale. You can still use the terms, but you can definitely get ahead of that weekend so that you're not trying to fight with all the other emails and sales and all those things that are coming out. What I think in the US right now is that we know the election is going to happen, right, on November 5th. So the week before November 5th and the week after, so that kind of 2-week time period, people are going to be really focused on the elections, right? And so if I'm going to run an offer, I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to do it probably until Halloween, or I'm going to wait till after the election week is over, and then I'm going to run it before Black Friday. Okay. So those dates would be my recommendation on how to do that. You can use countdown timers. You can use social media teasers. You can use an email sequence to get your audience excited before those things hit. And if you're using Shopify, there are different apps that you can use to help streamline this process. And I'm going to show you some of those apps when we get through some of this. Okay. One of the other things that I think during this time of year that is so, so important is to reward loyal customers and to make them feel really special. One of the things that's really hard is when you sign up for somebody's, loyalty program, or you sign up for someone's VIP program, and then you never really get the benefits of it, or you don't really even know what the loyalty program looks like, or why did I join this, or how do I use my points? This is the time now where you really want to go back to your customers and you want to tell them, hey, you're special. You're somebody that signed up for extra points or extra programs or things like that. I've got something special just for you. So for example, people that have signed up for our webinar, this webinar today, we're going to have something special for them because you're going to be our VIPs. We're going to give you something that our other list is not going to have access to either before Black Friday or, whatever time you decide to do this, we're going to give you some sort of exclusive discount and early access to those types of things. It makes people feel special. They become more loyal to you. They want to use the points or the reward system that you have. If you're on Shopify, one of the reward systems and point systems that I absolutely love is a tool called smile.io. It's an app that's within Shopify, super easy, super simple to set up, does everything for you, tracks all the points, does all the things. It's fantastic. So let's talk about automation, working harder, working smarter, not harder, right? So how can you set up repetitive tasks like automations, discounts, all of those types of things? So this is where you need to get prepared now for Black Friday. We actually at the agency have worked really hard to get our clients to commit to their Black Friday offers in September. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to run. This is how I'm going to run it so that we can get everything organized, put together, and ready to go like by now, right? We really want it to be completed and done. So this means things like if you are going to have a discount that you're going to give, that you can create a discount code that automatically happens on your Shopify or any store that you have. One of the things that I know during the Black Friday time or any time that there's high volume of sales is that when someone has to enter a discount code into that little code reminder at checkout during the Black Friday season, they most likely will not do that or miss that step and get frustrated because they're going so fast through purchase. So if there's a way that you can automate those discounts so that it automatically happens at checkout and they don't have to add a code or they don't have to enter in something, that makes it much, much easier and faster for checkout. So they're more likely to do that. They're more likely to not have issues. And it's already done, set up to start on, whatever day you're going to run your promotion and end on such and such a date. Within Shopify, the really cool thing is that you can set this up early, and a lot of other, tools like, WordPress and other places, you can set up automatic discounts to start on a certain day and end on a certain day. So you can be prepared to have that ready beforehand. And if you forget it, you don't think about it again, set it and forget it kind of stuff. They can start and end without you having to do anything. You can pre-schedule them. Abandoned cart reminders. Okay. So if you don't have an abandoned cart sequence set up, you want to get that set up now before you run your specials. Because what will happen is during the busiest times of the year, people go very fast. Everybody's purchasing from their phones. They're switching between this, they're switching between that. They're trying to get this thing purchased. And a lot of times they will leave things in their cart and they will come back later. An abandoned cart sequence is something that you will put into place now so that if somebody leaves something in their cart, they will get an email reminder within, an hour or two to say, hey, you left something in your cart, come back, purchase it, and don't forget. Also from that is a really important email sequence called a post-purchase follow-up sequence. Now, this is a really great way to help boost sales after someone has already purchased. And during this time of your Black Friday sale, you want to squeeze that post-purchase follow-up email sequence down to a shorter amount of time than you would normally outside of this holiday season. So for example, a post-purchase flow typically can last somewhere between, let's say, a week to 2 weeks after someone purchases. So you have an email that says, thanks for purchasing. Let me tell you a little bit about the product. Hey, did you know this product goes nicely with the thing you purchased? Here's a little bit about the product. Here's a little, reminder of, what else we have in the store. Hey, here's a discount or another thing to buy while you're there. And typically the flow of those post-purchase sequence emails will go, like I said, between a week to 2 weeks. And during Black Friday, what you want to do is try to shrink that time frame down a little bit closer together because people are going to be online during that time much more. So if you can get them to purchase something quicker or to come back and purchase quicker, then you're going to help with the next point, which is your average order value, upsells and cross sells. Okay. So you want to make sure that that part is already set up, and meaning this is something that, again, depending on whatever email system you have, whatever email tool you are using, you can set this up to automatically through automation happen so that you're not typing behind the scenes at 12:01 on that Friday going, oh my gosh, I want to send my abandoned cart. It just goes on a flow. So after somebody does it, after somebody leaves something in their cart, an hour later, they get an abandoned cart. They purchase something, an hour later that they get post-purchase. Have all of this automated and have it all set up well beforehand. But these are important things to help boost your average order value and cross-sell and upsell. Okay. So upsells, let's talk about average order value, because this is where, during the holiday season, Black Friday, or whenever you're going to do your promotion, you can make a lot of money during this time. And where I see a lot of business owners miss even more sales is with not doing upsells or cross sells for their product. They will sell a product, they'll have product A and they'll give it a discount, and then that's it. They don't offer another option of product A at a discounted price. They don't say, hey, with product A, product B goes nicely. They don't add in or add on different products to help cross sell or upsell with the thing that they have on sale. Now, you don't have to put everything that you own on sale during Black Friday or during these promotions, but what you can do is increase the average order value by offering additional things that complement the item or the package that you have on sale. So if you're selling widgets and the widgets work really well with, I don't know, a cup, then you want to make sure that you add that in to the average order value. Again, there are apps that make this very, very easy for you to do automatically with automation, so that if person buys the widget, it automatically shows them the cup at checkout so they can choose whether or not they want to add that. That will really help your average order value cross-sell, upsell. Now, I get a lot of questions saying, well, Dawn, I don't have a whole lot of stuff to sell. Maybe I only have like 5 products in my store right now, or maybe I have a gazillion products in my store. How do I know which thing would be best to sell? Well, if you don't have a lot of products in your store, one of the things that I think is great is give another of the same thing for either the same price or a discounted price. So if you buy 2, you get a little discount on it. If you buy 1 additional, you get a discount on that. So just give more of the same, right? People will say, oh, if I buy 2 and I get 10% off versus buying 1 at a regular price, why wouldn't I buy 2? Those types of things. If you can get your situation automated and you can get your large quantity of SKUs that you have set up so that you can see on the back end how many different things get purchased together, use your data to kind of drive that decision. So if you've got history in your store and this often sells with this, or when people buy product A, they oftentimes will come back for product B and C, those would be the products that you want to put together in some sort of upsell or cross-sell together. Again, there are apps, and we're going to drop a book for you, a little PDF book of my favorite apps that I like to use in Shopify, that have some of these built-in features that make this really easy for you to do, so that you don't have to think about this and you're not trying to come up with what works best. It automatically happens. And these are the things that are going to help you work smarter, not harder, particularly during this season. But this should be going on any time of year. But you want to make sure that this is definitely something that you have set up before you run your big Black Friday, Cyber Monday promotion. Okay. So I want to talk about the power of buy now, pay later. Okay. So a lot of people, when you check out on, the websites or even on your phone, you will see a lot of these different options: Klarna, Afterpay, PayPal, break it out, Affirm, break it out in different payments. It is the power of breaking off larger purchases into smaller payment amounts over the course of time. So for example, let's say you've got something even that's over $50, and you give people the option of buying it now, but paying later in chunks. So they can pay, $33 over the 3 months, or they can break it up into smaller payments. People need to have some flexibility right now with payment options. And that can absolutely increase conversions, especially for higher ticket items. If you're looking at something that's like, $5, $10, I really feel like anything under $50 probably doesn't need a buy now, pay later option, but you can definitely offer it. The thing with these that's really nice with the Firm and, the Klarna and all the other, I mean, there's a ton of them out there now, is that you get the money as the business owner, you get the money up front. So you're not waiting for the buy now, pay later option to come in. The company that you're going through is giving you all of that money up front, and they're taking the payment from the customer over time. Now, in order to do that, obviously there's going to be a fee that's going to be associated with that setup and that system, so that there's, how does Klarna make their money? Well, they make their money by taking a fee, but it's typically pretty small. And so if that's going to help increase conversions and that's going to help with people's decision-making process on a higher ticket item, is if they can buy it now and pay over time, kind of like layaway, like what we used to do when we would go into the store and you'd go, buy all of your holiday things and you'd put them on layaway and then you'd come back over time and you would pay them off. That's exactly what this is, just in the online space with different tools that are available. Okay, so I really encourage you to think about it if it makes sense. There's a lot of different options that are available. Shopify has, I think, 4 or 5 different ones that are now available, but any platform you can usually get them set up. I know PayPal also has a credit payment option. So if people want to look at credit, they can do that as well and do a pay now or buy now, pay later option for credit. So different options, different types of tools, but definitely something to think about, particularly if your products are over that $50 or $100 mark. One of the things that people expect during promotion times, during Black Friday, is free shipping. Now, let's just say you don't give free shipping normally, but you're going to give free shipping during this time. You want to call that from the rooftops. You want that to be everywhere on your website. You want that to be in your emails. You want that to be, at the top of your website saying free shipping during this weekend or during the sale or whatever. People expect there to be some sort of discount or some sort of, promotion around shipping at this point. Now, it remains a top incentive for buyers during Black Friday, especially, but during any time, free shipping is really something. Now, this is where a lot of people who own physical products can get into trouble, because shipping can be and is very, very expensive right now. And we know that to be true. So you've got to do the math on how you price your products in order to make up for that shipping. But understand that during Black Friday, in particular, whenever you're running your promotion, it's a game of volume, right? So the more sales you can make, the more purchases you can make, the less the free shipping becomes an issue, right? So you want to try to think about that from a volume perspective. Can you get more sales at a higher price point to be able to cover the shipping during this time? Because people expect it. They go to Amazon, they get free shipping if you're a Prime, and they get it in 2 or 3 days, right? They get it quickly. They want to have that same experience, particularly because Black Friday, if you wait till that weekend, but even if you wait till the middle of November, Christmas is just around the corner. They want to know that the product is coming quickly, and they want to know and don't want to have to pay for free shipping. So I really encourage you, if you can make it work for your products, specifically during a Black Friday sale, again, whatever time frame you do the Black Friday sale, free shipping is kind of a no-brainer for most of those things, okay? The post-purchase experience. So after the product comes, okay, after somebody has purchased, after they get the product, all of the afters, you want to make sure you've got that set up and dialed in for that product. I have seen a lot of companies do a fantastic job during Black Friday, but not have a great post-purchase experience for their customers that then turns into very negative reviews. Okay. And so you're going to get a lot of customers, but you're also going to get, hopefully, a lot of really great reviews on your product and not bad reviews. So you want to make sure that that post-purchase experience is really, really dialed in. What do I mean by that? So make sure that there's some sort of email that goes to them that says, hey, we got your order. It's on its way, and here's a tracking number. Now, if you are in Shopify, that automatically happens for you. Anytime somebody gets an order, they automatically get a receipt that says, hey, thank you for your order. Here it is. If you're giving a physical product, it will show the tracking and the shipping update for that. And then when the product actually ships, it will send an update saying, hey, your product has shipped, expect it in X number of days. You should always have the number of days that it's going to take for your product to get somewhere on your shipping information. So people don't expect, hey, I'm going to get something in 2 to 3 days, when the reality is it's going to take 5 to 7 or 7 to 10 days. You always want to make sure that they know how long it's going to take to get there. If your shipping is really long, you're going to want to try to see how you can get that shortened up, if at all possible, during this Black Friday time. Because if you've got a 10 to 14 day shipping window and you're going to sell during the last weekend of November, and something happens and it takes 2 weeks for a product to get to somebody's house, you're butting right up against the holiday season. And if they're buying it for a gift and it doesn't get there, that's not going to be a great experience. So see what you can do for shipping, but also make sure that people know how long shipping is going to take. And again, Shopify has a lot of tools for tracking, shipping updates, customer service support, all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, let's keep moving on here. Customer service. Okay, so during this busy time, and I think this really is something you should be doing all of the time, not just during Black Friday, but I think people buy from people, right? They want to still have that customer service experience. They still want to make sure that there's somebody there that they can talk to, or somebody that can answer some questions, particularly if you're selling something to a new customer and they've never purchased from you before, they're seeing your stuff for the first time. Chances are they're going to have some sort of questions. So you want to be as responsive as you possibly can during this time, and make sure that that one-time customer turns into a repeat customer by providing them with amazing customer service. So you might be saying, oh my gosh, Dawn, well, how do I do that during this time? It's super busy. I don't know how, like, I can't be on the phone. I don't want people texting me. There's tons of ways that you can do this so that it is automated. So we all have Facebook. Most of us all have Facebook. Within Facebook, there's Facebook Messenger. Okay. You can set up Facebook Messenger to integrate with your website. Doesn't have to be Shopify. Any website that you have, there's an app that says Facebook Messenger download, and you can connect the two. Within Facebook Messenger, you can set up automated messages so that if people send you a message, it will automatically send them a response back without you having to type it in. And you can type in and have a sequence of messages that will be automatically kind of pre-made for people, depending on the question that they have. So let's say someone had a question about, how long is shipping? If they typed in, I want to talk to someone about shipping, it can pop up and say, do you have a question about shipping? Click here. Okay. You can do that through chat. You can do that through a tool called ManyChat. ManyChat is an additional tool that you can use on any website, just manychat.com. And it has a free version as well as a paid version. And a lot of the benefits of ManyChat is that you can set up automations based on customers' questions that are auto set up, that are longer, and you set them up beforehand. So let's say, for example, one of the words that somebody has a question about is shipping. So anytime somebody would type in the word shipping, a series of, text messages or messengers would come to them and say, here's our shipping policy. Do you have a question about this? Do you have a question? It just allows you to go a little bit deeper. The messenger is just kind of a overarching question, broader questions that can get answered. ManyChat, you can do really cool automations based on the questions that people actually ask. And so I love that. It's free. And they do have a paid version. I think it's like $15 a month. So if you do want to get the paid version and have a lot of automations and different things set up, even if it's just for this short amount of time during the busiest season, I would recommend that you do that. A lot of people want to chat in some capacity to ask questions. I would, unless you have already set up some sort of 800 number, some sort of Zendesk, some sort of, third-party tool that automatically is taking ticket numbers, help desk numbers for you. I don't know that I would say, hey, let's try that out this weekend and see how that works, because sometimes that can be a disaster if you've never used it before. So do simple, make it easy for yourself. Use Messenger, use ManyChat. Be in your own DMs. Let's say you don't want to set any of that up, but you still want to say your products are very, very unique. There's not a one size fits all sort of, message that you could send. Then stay close to your messengers and type in messages to people as they ask questions from your Facebook Messenger or from your ManyChat. You can do it live. It doesn't have to be automated if it's something that you feel like you need to ask, be there to answer questions that people have. Okay. But keep that top of mind. People will come back and purchase if their questions get answered and they feel like they're actually talking to a human. Okay, so data-driven decisions, measure your success. I think one of the biggest parts of this is that we need to make sure that what we did this year is going to be successful. So a lot of our clients work with us for multiple years, and, oh, what did we do last year? How did that work? Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Make sure that you are keeping track of the data that you have to drive your results. It's really, really important that during Black Friday, you keep track of conversion rates, meaning how many people go to your website and how many actually convert. What is your average order value? How much does it cost to acquire a customer? And again, if you're using something like a Shopify, all of those analytics are on the Shopify dashboard. You actually don't have to do anything to track these numbers other than to use the data that's already in the dashboard. So if you just go to your admin section within your Shopify store and you go to analytics, you can see all of this information other than customer acquisition costs. So you can see all of this information at the touch of a button. You can put between this date and this date, I want to see how many conversions, how high my store converted, how many people purchased so many, product X, product Y. What was the average order value? All of that can be tracked, and you want to make sure that you're keeping notes of that for next year or for other promotions that you end up doing. Okay. All right, I'm going to talk about user-generated content for just a second, because a lot of people ask me, okay, so how do I break through the noise? How do I actually, if I'm going to do this even before Black Friday, how is it during this time of year I can actually break through and, differentiate my product? And one of the things that we're using right now that's doing very, very well for us is called user-generated content, using your customers to be your selling people. You use them to sell for you. So if you've got product reviews, if you've got video reviews, if you've got people who have used your product and you've got video of them using your product, this is the time to toot your own horn, is what I say. This is the time to show everyone how great you are. This is not a time for people to guess whether or not somebody likes your product. This is the time to pull out all the reviews from way back in the day when you were selling things a long time ago and people loved it. Like, pull out all of the reviews that you've got, do all of the user-generated content that you got. And let's just say, okay, Dawn, I don't have any user-generated content. I don't have any reviews on my product. So what do I do instead? You are your best seller. You're your best seller of yourself. So if you don't have anyone who's purchased from you yet, or you don't have anyone or any reviews, then you be the user-generated content, meaning you show people how to do the thing. You show people how to use the product. You show people how great this is by you, the business owner, being the seller of the product. Okay. So that means doing videos. That means doing lives. That means doing reels, YouTube shorts, whatever it is, wherever your people are hanging out, you need to have that sort of user-generated content. Gone are the days of posting a static image and expecting you to get sales for that during Black Friday. And I was just on another call where I was talking about this with another group of people, where I was saying, stop posting all of the quotes and all the pretty, like, flowery pictures of, oh, today is a great day, unicorns and rainbows. Particularly this time of year, they want to see the product. They want to understand how to use it, and they want to see someone either explaining it or showing how to put it on, showing how it works, showing what it does, put it in the environment, that kind of stuff. So you've got to be able to do that in some way. Again, User-generated content, in my opinion, is the best. It's great if you can have other people sell your product for you. But if you don't have that, you don't have reviews, you don't have UGC content, then you, as the business owner, be the seller of your own product and get on video. Scary stuff. I can understand. Not everybody wants to be on video and not everybody wants to, but it's the time of year. This is kind of we call it our Super Bowl, right? Like this is the time of year that you are going to sell the most or potentially sell the most product ever because people are ready, have their wallets out, and they're ready to buy. So get out there, do the thing that makes you uncomfortable and sell your product. Okay. All right. So we have this unique process that we kind of use at the agency where we kind of take this holistic view of your business. And we talk about this as the D to D method. We talk about the audit, the awareness, the conversion, fulfillment, retention, and measurement. We kind of talked about all of these different pieces today in different capacities, but this is really the process that we use any time of year, regardless of whether it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. This process of going through an audit of your stock, an audit of your processes, an audit of your website, an audit of, all of those things need to happen. Awareness. Are people even aware of what you're selling? What are you doing to be able to sell? Once they get to the website, are they actually converting? Can you fulfill the product? Are you getting it there in time? Are you bringing them back to buy more? And then are you measuring whether or not you've sold enough, you've hit your targets, your goals, all that kind of stuff. This process needs to happen ongoing, regardless of what time of year it is. But it's extremely important that you go through this process during Black Friday or before Black Friday actually happens. One thing I will challenge you is, when was the last time that you, as the business owner, actually went through your own checkout process on your phone? So if you're selling something, when was the last time you pretended you were a customer and actually went through your own checkout process on your phone? If it's been a while or you've never done it, you're definitely going to want to do it before you do this kind of promo. Because what I have found is that people oftentimes miss the little things about their checkout process that are going to keep people from converting. Sometimes a button doesn't work. Sometimes it's not above the fold. Sometimes it's super hard to find. Sometimes it looks wonky on a phone. And you've got to remember that most people are buying from their phone. They're buying from mobile. They're not sitting at a desktop. Some do, but it's something like 70 to 85% of all purchases now are done on some sort of mobile device. And we know during Black Friday, that number goes up. So if your website is not ready for conversions on a mobile device, that would be audit number one. And that's where I would take care of the problem. But go through your website as a customer and actually check out and see what that process looks like. That would be my challenge for you. Okay, so I just want to share a case study because, again, UGC content, right? So I'm going to give you some UGC content on a case study and the actions that we took for this. So for us, one of the pieces is, how do we help customers optimize their budgets, and how do we get more customers to them during the Black Friday timeline? And how do we get that for the lowest price possible? And we had a customer that came to us, or a client that came to us during the Black Friday season a couple of years ago, and they were just burning through Facebook ads budget. They were just burning through a cost, right? It was expensive for them to acquire customers. What we were able to do using that process that I showed you of the auditing, the awareness, the conversions, the retention, the measurement, all of that stuff, the fulfillment measurement, we were able to get their costs down to a really attractive price. Now, if you are in the Facebook space and you know what a cost per acquisition is, meaning for Facebook, how much does it acquire to bring that customer to you? We were able to get people to that business for $8 to $10, which is great. We were able to increase average order value by 133%, boosting that on Shopify. Conversion rate of 5 to 6%, which is way above industry average at a 2 to 3%. Their AOV went up to a record average order value. And we were able to have a 6-figure month with them just by following these steps, okay? By auditing, having awareness, converting, fulfillment, retention, and measurement. Doing each and every one of these things And all of the things that I had talked about before, using the tools available to you, we were able to let them have their first six-figure month during November. They also had a very high six-figure month in December as well. So these tools, these principles, these things, even if you're not running Facebook ads, they work. Again, 28 some years doing this, I can tell you what's working and what's not working right now. Okay, that is my spiel. Whew. That's a lot of talking for 45 minutes. So I want to open it up to any questions that might be out there or anything that you want to ask. If there's any questions or comments or anything that you guys might have, we are definitely open to that, and want to give you guys the opportunity to drop questions in. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see. Is there any questions? Michelle, Anne Marie, Georgia, Jacob, anybody have any questions?
I'll jump in with one.
Sure, Michelle, go ahead.
So for the user-generated content, like for one thing, I have a ton of reviews. They're all almost, I mean, almost all written though. So
Mhm.
if static social content and stuff isn't great, do you recommend like making a video slideshow of
Yeah,
them kind of
yeah,
thing?
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So if you have um, a lot of reviews that are written and they're 5-star reviews, you can use Canva, which is a really, easy tool. It's free, and you can create a post, a reel. You can create a slideshow with those reviews as text over an image or over a video, have the 5 stars and then flash the text of this is amazing. Then go to the next one, have this. You can do a 30-second video that just kind of flashes them. You can do a longer form reel that has, more pictures in the background with just a couple of reviews. But yeah, definitely take the reviews that you have if you don't have video of people saying things, and make a video of that user generated those reviews, written reviews that you have. Yeah, great
Okay.
question.
Yep. Thanks.
Um, okay, so one of the questions, how can I effectively use upsells and cross sells during Black Friday? With average order value without overwhelming the customers? I think that's a great question, because how many times have we checked out and then all of a sudden you get like, now you can buy this, but wait, there's more, but wait, there's another one, and now there's another one. It can be very, very challenging to not overwhelm your customers with upsell after upsell after upsell. What I would recommend during this time of year is to have one upsell and one downsell without overwhelming your customers. So right now, you don't want to just keep going and going and going and going and going, because the chances that they are going to go through 5 different upsells, cross sells, downsells is going to be very small. You have to remember that during Black Friday, people are in like, I just want to get it mode and I want to get out of here and I'm going to go to the next thing. Mean, think about when you actually go into a store during this crazy time of year to go shopping. You just want to, like, most of the time, go in, get your thing, and get out, right? You don't want to be bothered with the crowds. You don't want to be bothered with all the stuff. I think those are the things that you just kind of have to test a little bit, but I would recommend one upsell, one cross sell, kind of leave it at that. Okay. And see how that does. Now, if everybody's taking the upsell, everybody's taking the cross sell, then you might want to add one more thing in there, or your price points might not quite be right. Because we know that not everybody's going to take an upsell or a cross sell, but if they are, then that might be one you could either throw another one in there or change the price up a little bit. Okay. How can I reward my loyal customers during Black Friday without diluting my brand or making them expect discounts all the time? I think that's great. And I think a lot of what I talked about with having the pre-sale sale for your VIPs is really, really important. The value of an email specifically to those customers, the value of why it's important to be on your email list as a VIP. I think this is all stuff that can happen well before the Black Friday timeline, right? You should be warming up those customers. You should be having those conversations with those customers, giving them ideas. There can be other things that you do for VIP loyal customers that don't always include a discount, like exclusive access to products before everybody else gets to see it, right? So like you're on the VIP list, you get to see things before everybody else gets to see them. Or, you get points, or you get, a larger version, or you get a different size, or things like that. You can create sort of this infrastructure within your business that isn't always about discounting. It can be about giving your loyal following early access to things, or being able to value different things within your business. So for example, if you could sell, let's say you sold supplements, and you could offer your VIP um, audience like a book about those supplements, an ebook about those supplements that not everybody else would get. Or you could give them, some value outside of just what they've purchased, a video recording, a training, a how to that not everybody else would get. That makes people feel special and isn't necessarily something that you have to do for a discount. So I do think that we have a tendency to over discount everything all the time, and then people come only when it's discount time. We have a client of ours that does discounts all the time, and it drives a lot of sales, but they have a lot of people who don't buy unless there's a discount. And so we want to try to not have our customers come in to cherry pick only when it's, discount time, but that they're actually loyal followers all the time. So yep, you can also make a video talking about the 5-star reviews. Yep, that's a good idea, Michelle, is like you talking about the videos, you on video talking about the 5-star reviews, maybe with a green screen behind you saying, my customers have said this. That kind of stuff I think is great. And then Georgia, you can try to contact the happy customers directly and offer them something for a video review. That's great. I love that idea too. And oftentimes that's a free product, or time with me, or you get a free call, or, something along those lines. So I think all of these are great suggestions and great ideas on things that you can do. Okay, you guys, so I've got 2 things for you because you showed up with me here live today. So some of you are on Shopify, and I mentioned there's a lot of apps and a lot of things that you can use within Shopify. Shopify, I think, has, I don't even know what the number is, but a crazy amount of apps. And so how do you know what app is really good, and how do you know what app to use? Well, I've created what I call a little black book of my favorite Shopify apps that we are now dropping into the link. You can download that. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can just download that PDF, and it will give you some of my favorite Shopify apps to use. I think I have no association with any of them. I don't get any affiliate or anything off of them. These are just apps that I have used over the course of my 10 years doing this thing called marketing, and they are very good. They're very easy, and they're affordable. Okay. Some of them are free, and some of them you pay for. And then also, if those of you who don't know, recently we have created the Digital Dawn Download Shop, which is a digital product shop that I have now put on my own Shopify store that has a bunch of different tools, resources, things that you might need for creating content, for organizing content, for coming up with content, but also for managing budgets. How do you think about, Facebook ads? What do you do if you have questions about forecasting? All sorts of things. So I want you guys to check out the shop.digitaldawnagency.com. We dropped the link there. We will also be giving you guys a discount code for that. Use Digital Dawn for a discount for any of those products. They're not very expensive, any of them on there. I wanted to try to keep them really low priced so that everybody can get the tools that they need and that they are affordable for them. So we've tried to keep everything, I think, gosh, the most is like, I don't know, $25 or something. They're all very, very cheap, but this discount code will give you 50% off any of the products that are in there. And I highly recommend that you go check it out, and let's just see if some of those tools can help make this Black Friday easier for you. We also are going to have a Black Friday bundle that is going to come out very, very soon. That is going to be, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be templates that you can use to promote your whatever you're promoting on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. We're going to have templates, Canva templates that you're going to be able to edit really quickly that are very easy to design and put your stuff plug and play. We're going to have some email templates that all you have to do is just change a few words, and they are high converting emails that you can just use for your audience. And then we're going to have some other like spreadsheet tools and things like that that we're going to put in a bundle for you guys. So more to come. We're going to send those out before Black Friday so that you can use them for your Black Friday promotions. All right, you guys, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining me live. Does anybody else have any questions or comments, thoughts? Thank you so much for coming. This has been great. I wish you all the best of luck during your fourth quarter endeavors. I know this is always a challenging time, but it's also a really, really fun time to sell products, see what people are doing, get ideas for next time. Be sure to save and post and keep all of the things that you like during this Black Friday so you can be inspired for next year as well. All right, you guys, if you have any questions, reach out. Don't hesitate to do that. And wish you all the best of luck. Thank you guys so much. Have a great holiday.